Hello, everybody. It is the American Doofus Show, Sunday Night Live, the weekly wrap. Thank you for joining. And let me tilt this down here. Got a new microphone, so if you're hearing me okay, somebody give me a thumbs up or something in the comments, if you would. Otherwise, hang on to your comments and questions because a lot of stuff to cover tonight. And again, thank you for joining. Thank you for watching. And one of the things we're going to start out covering, if you can hear me hear me all right with the new microphone? Thank you, 100% Black Rack. Love you. The first thing, let me see if I can you see this? I hope you can see this. Can you see this? This is our first prototype EAR shirt. The first prototype for End All Racism. And again, let me see if I can pop this down. And that's what the top looks like. And we have 3 designs. Something's wacky with my camera here as I adjust it, obviously. Sorry about this. Obviously, it's live. So this is our first prototype. I'll have another one on tomorrow night and another one on Tuesday. Not sure what happened there with it. Well, I'm having a power problem for some reason. Okay, obviously it's live. So let's march along, if you will. A lot to talk about tonight. Some new stuff to talk about at the end of after I do my report, so to speak, and then take some questions and some conversation. At the end of that, I'm going to play a video. It's about 12 minutes long. It's the Proud Boys and other affiliated Trump supporters. Let's just put it that way. Also, we're going to talk a little bit tonight about some body cam footage that surfaced a couple of weeks ago, and I just became aware of it. It was made aware to me about the Ahmaud Arbery situation and where you can go see that. And then, of course, we've got things to go back and review from the week. We had the occupied hotel in Tacoma, Washington. We had Antifa and police in Portland. And we had the Angry Knuckles conversation. So we got a lot of stuff to talk about tonight. And my daughter's texting me. And I want to start off with the phone conversation Donald Trump had with the Secretary of State of Georgia, trying to get him to flip the votes, trying to get him to basically lie, commit treason by finding votes that simply aren't there. And we're going to begin with that conversation.
We have won this election in Georgia based on all of this. And there's nothing wrong with saying that, Brad. You know, I mean, having a correct, the people of Georgia are angry. And these numbers are going to be repeated on Monday night, along with others that we're going to have by that time, which are much more substantial even. And the people of Georgia are angry. The people of the country are angry. And there's nothing wrong with saying that, that you've recalculated.
Well, Mr. President, the challenge that you have is the data you have is wrong.
Now, do you think it's possible that they shredded ballots in Fulton County? Because that's what the rumor is. And also that Dominion took out machines. That Dominion is really moving fast to get rid of their machinery. Do you know anything about that? Because that's illegal.
This is Ryan Germany. No, Dominion has not moved any machinery out of Fulton County. We're having.
Well, but have they moved? Have they moved the inner parts of the machines and replaced them with other parts?
No.
You sure, Ryan?
I'm sure.
This is a desperate
You should
man.
want to have an accurate election. And you're a Republican.
We believe that we do have an accurate election.
No, I know you don't. No, you don't. You don't have. Not even close. You're up by hundreds of thousands of votes. You know what they did, and you're not reporting it. That's a criminal offense. And you can't let that happen. That's a big risk to you and to Ryan, your lawyer. That's a big risk. But they are shredding ballots, in my opinion, based on what I've heard, and they are removing machinery, and they're moving it as fast as they can, both of which are criminal fines, and you can't let it happen, and you are letting it happen. I'm notifying you that you're letting it happen. So, look, all I want to do is this. I just want to find 11,780 votes, which is one more than we have, because we won the state. So tell me, Brad, what are we going to do? We won the election, and it's not fair to take it away from us like this. And it's going to be very costly in many ways. And I think you have to say that you're going to re-examine it, and you can re-examine it, but re-examine it with people that want to find answers, not people that don't want to find answers. For instance, I'm hearing Ryan, and he's probably, I'm sure, a great lawyer and everything, but he's making statements about those ballots that he doesn't know. But he's making them with such, he did make them with surety, but now I think he's less sure, because the answer is they all went to Biden. And that alone wins us the election by a lot. So.
Mr. President, you have people that submit information, and we have our people that submit information, and then it comes before the court, and the court then has to make a determination. We have to stand by our numbers. We believe our numbers are right.
Well, under law, you're not allowed to give faulty election results, okay? You're not allowed to do that, and that's what you've done. This is a faulty election result. And honestly, this should go very fast. You should meet tomorrow, because you have a big election coming up, and because of what you've done to the president, the people of Georgia know that this was a scam. And because of what you've done to the president, a lot of people aren't going out to vote. And a lot of Republicans are going to vote negative because they hate what you did to the president. Okay? They hate it. And they're going to vote. And if you would be respected, if this thing could be straightened out before the election. You have a big election coming up on Tuesday.
There you go. It would be
Smyrna is very outgoing.
It would be funny if it wasn't so incredibly serious. And the problem is way too many people believe everything he says, and that's incredibly dangerous. Incredibly dangerous, and we'll talk about that as the show unfolds. Perhaps the biggest new news in the alternative news world is that Grandmaster Jay of the NFAC will be back beginning tomorrow morning with Morning Mental, and then tomorrow night with Facts Over Feelings. The court order that required him to remove himself from his social media platform has been rescinded, and he is able to take his platform back. And I know that makes a lot of NFAC followers and NFAC members incredibly happy. And why is that big news? Well, because he is such a controversial and polarizing figure. And as soon as his first morning mental comes out, there are going to be editions of other YouTube shows coming out, tearing down everything he's just said. That's just the way it has always worked. And I'm assuming that's perhaps one thing we can count on to remain constant as we head into 2021. But anyway, Grandmaster Jay is back, and there are many, including myself, looking forward to what he has to say about everything, about what has happened, or what's going to happen, and what we can all expect, so to speak. So let's look back a little bit. We had the occupied hotel in Tacoma, Washington, and it's occupied by a pro Housing for Everyone organization, trying to draw attention to the fact that people are dying on the streets in very frigid weather in certain areas of our country. We also had Antifa and police in what was just absolute chaos in what I was seeing in Portland, Oregon. And again, at the end, we're going to have the Proud Boys in Salem, Oregon. And we had the Angry Knuckles conversation. Now, those were the three big things of the past week. Looking ahead, as we always do in the weekly wrap, the 5th of January, you heard our current resident of the White House talk about this big upcoming election in Georgia. That is the 5th, and that is Tuesday, and that is for both of the Georgia Senate seats. And the balance of power in the Senate hangs with that election. Should Republicans win, they will retain power in the Senate. Mitch McConnell will be the Senate Majority Leader and will be able to decide what is and is not heard as far as any sort of reform or changes. And if the Democrats win, then there will be a Democratic Senate Majority Leader who will determine what bills are heard to potentially become laws of the land in the United States. So it's incredibly important what's happening Tuesday. And it's incredibly important what we heard the president say, calling him, speaking in the third term. He didn't refer to himself. He said the way they're treating the president, as if, I don't know. It was just rather odd to me, I guess, and discrediting the election process, and then saying that going to be a lot of people not going to vote because they don't trust the election process, and those would be his people, which would be a great thing for Democrats if they want to control the Senate and get both of these Senate candidates elected. So it was a very odd, and the call goes on for like an hour and 15 minutes. We heard 4.5 minutes worth, which was probably way too much, but nonetheless, we need to know what's going on, and especially with someone who currently resides in our White House and is currently the commander-in-chief of our armed forces. So looking ahead, that's what's coming January 5th. Now, January 6th, that's Wednesday. January 6th is when the vote is supposed to occur in the House and in the Senate. and the vote to ratify the electoral college votes that ratify the popular vote that make Joe Biden the official next president of the United States, and Kamala Harris the next official vice president of the United States. There are senators, 11 senators, and 100 and some House of Representatives in the Republican Party that are going to delay the counting. They can't do anything other than delay the process, and that's what they're going to do. Now, if this is part of a bigger plan, and all of a sudden there are 10,000 patriots armed surrounding the Capitol, and then we're in a totally different ballgame, and that's a distinct possibility, in my opinion. So, the 6th of January is going to be an incredibly huge day in America. Do we retain our democracy? Do we have a peaceful transition of power? Or is it the beginning of the overthrow of the Constitution of the United States and basically our government? Which, if unsuccessful, is treason. And the only punishment for treason in the Constitution is death. So, just something to think about. All right. Body cam footage of Ahmaud Arbery. It's been out about 2 weeks. Most of you have probably seen it. If you haven't, you can find it on Court TV. And it's troubling, to put it mildly. But I think justice is going to be served in that case. I hope so. So many cases, it seems that justice is not served. And also, I've got so many things happened. And quite honestly, I had to take kind of a personal day yesterday, I guess you'd say. I had to take an emotional day off. I just had to back away from everything for a few days or a few hours. So it was kind of an emergency stress release day off. And in doing so, I'm a little bit behind on some of the things I want to show. So there may be 2 episodes coming tomorrow. In case you have not seen it, there is a recording of a press conference with Casey Godson Jr.'s mom in Columbus, Ohio. And I want to show some footage of that. So that kind of catches me up on what I have on my list. So I'll head over to the comments for a few minutes. And let's railroad that election too. True Soldier, what's going on, man? Put you on the show. These people want to hear you. Sure, we can do that. We can do that. Actually, Knuckles wants to come back on, and I don't know if possible, but we might be able to put a panel together with you, True, and with Knuckles, and I don't know. I know this is all obviously off the top of my head in life. I know Galaxy Boog wanted to come back on, so maybe we can get a 3 or 4 person, a 3 or 4 person panel together in the next day or so. Anybody have any questions or comments or anything for me? I can go ahead and put the video on of what happened up in Salem, Oregon, when Proud Boys and some other conservatives, group of conservative Trump supporters, including Proud Boys, is what the title of it says. Let's do it. Okay, True Soldier. And like I said, I've taken some time off. I haven't even checked my email So if you've emailed me, I probably haven't seen it if it's been in the last 48 hours, or you messaged me. I apologize for that. Again, I just kind of took some, needed an emotional relief day. That's what I'm going to call it. Not that I have to call it anything to anybody. Tyrant Terminator. Email me at americandoofus@gmail.com and email me tonight, and we'll see. We'll get you on here for some real talk. Absolutely. Did I see the comeback video of Grandmaster Jay? I did not see the entire comeback video of Grandmaster Jay. I saw a couple of segments of it, and I do know that he is legally allowed to come back on and talk, or he wouldn't be doing it. He's not an unintelligent man for sure. But I do know that a fuss is going to be made that he's back, and that changes were made to his restrictions from the federal arrest. And like I said, he's incredibly polarizing and he's controversial. So people are going to be hanging on every word he says, some to discredit, some to applaud, and some of us in the middle just to document what's going on both sides. No, True Soldier, nobody, no people scared me from putting you back on. Not at all, man. No, not at all. No. I really enjoyed our conversation, and again, I look forward to having another one. And if Knuckles happens to pop up here, and we'll see about a panel. If not, just me and you talk. That's always cool with me. What do you think about the Chinese in the state of Maine? That bunker got bombed. I have not heard anything about that. Magnetic power. Chinese people in the state of Maine, I assume they're like religious. They're here for religious reasons. Chinese generally don't have a whole lot of freedom when it comes to traveling abroad. Their bunker got bombed. No, I haven't seen that. I'll have to see about that. Star Child, Happy New Year. Happy New Year to you, Star, and thank you for all your help with everything. The Chinese Army is in the state of Maine, is what you're saying, magnetic power? No, I have not heard that at all. Okay. No. Check out the song from the Ghetto Boys, F the Police. Okay, I will do that. I think I've heard it before. I think I heard it in the square in Jefferson Park Square, Breonna Taylor Square, Justice Park, many names, in Louisville, 6th and Jefferson. I think I heard that song there. Yes, and other underground states. So Chinese Army have underground bunkers in states in America is the conspiracy theory. Wow, that's a new one to me. I had not heard that. No, I had not heard that. Mexico and Canada. For Mexico and Canada. Okay. Some things are, things are going to get crazy, folks. And a lot of people in communities of color think this isn't going to impact them. That if there's a civil war, that it's not their war, it's not their fight, but it quickly will become your war and your fight. And here's how. Okay, we're going to see a video in a few minutes of what happened in Salem, Oregon. Now, a lot of the people that were back the blue are not backing the blue anymore, and a lot of people that were back the blue were only back the blue because the blue were killing the black people. That's just my opinion. Okay, and now that the blue aren't on their side, you'll see that they are not as back the blue as they were a few months ago. Now, you will also hear that they are very anti-Antifa. Okay? Anti-Antifa. Antifa is short for anti-fascist. Now, being anti-Antifa would mean they were fascist by English definition. They don't consider themselves that. Many, some, I don't know. The ones I've talked to don't consider themselves that. However, it quickly turns from Antifa to Antifa and BLM. Okay? Now, from Antifa to BLM, any person of color is automatically going to be considered BLM. That's how quickly it becomes your war, whether you wanted it or not. And I think this could possibly be a very crucial time that Grandmaster Jay has been able to come back and speak. And it'll be interesting to hear what he thinks about all this, because you'll hear hate for Antifa. And again, it always goes Antifa and BLM. Who started the march? Antifa and BLM. Who started the riots? Antifa and BLM. It'll be Antifa, BLM. Any person of color is BLM. That's how quickly it will happen. And that could happen within 24 hours. And if I'm wrong, everybody can say so in the comments, or on the 7th of January, if absolutely nothing happens, I'll be on here saying I'm a doofus. On the 6th of January, I'm going to be on here broadcasting live. I'm not exactly sure the time schedule yet, but most of the day, because that's how historic I think it's going to be. So let's talk. My predictions have been wrong a lot. No offense taken. And I'm glad they're wrong, because I predicted an attempt at martial law before Halloween, so there would not be an election, because the numbers were so clear that Trump was going to lose that I didn't think he would take a chance on having an election, and that was wrong. And I came out and said so, and I'm thankful that was wrong. I thought something was going to happen on Halloween night that would trigger that, and I was wrong about all that, and I'm so thankful. And I hope I'm wrong this time, end night. I really do. I hope Thursday absolutely nothing happens. But I think a problem. I think a problem with the Proud Boys and with Loose Knit Coalition, whatever they're called, of Trump supporters. I don't know if, because I don't think any one group can say all 3%ers are Trump supporters. So they're just kind of all lumped together into Trump supporters. And the problem is they think they're going to be fighting Antifa. And that would probably be a very easy civil war to win, because Antifa, from what I've seen, my opinions, Antifa is built to confront police and not militia, because police are going to fire tear gas at them. They're going to fire pepper spray. They're going to, and they're prepared with their umbrellas and their leaf blowers and all different things to counter the method of fighting, so to speak. And I don't think Antifa is going to be prepared to counter and I could be very wrong, because they've like Angry Knuckles said, they popped up in Louisville with a couple of U-Haul trucks, and they had stuff and it was dispersed, and boom, and they were gone. So they could be prepared. From what I have seen, Antifa is not prepared to stand up against, I'm using the Patriots, and that's not where it's going to end. And I think this video gives a hint of that as well. And I don't think the 3%ers are going to be prepared to stand up against the United States military or police forces around the country. Now, what the police forces do, what the military does, those are very significant. In some areas, the military may side with the Patriots. I think it all begins January 6th, just 3 days away. And, I've been telling you to stock up 30 days worth of your essentials, whatever it is that you absolutely have to have. Make sure you got a 30-day supply, just in case things go down on the 6th. With the 3%ers back to blue, they show up at the black rallies armed. People aren't smart enough to think for themselves. That's the only way we can unite and uplift humanity. Whoa. I'm concerned. I really am. I mean, obviously, I'm going to broadcast live because it could be the beginning of a revolution, and one that nobody was expecting. A revolution that turns this country into dictatorship instead of an elected democracy. And the only people in power will be Trump loyalists. I think that's the plan. I based part of that plan on a message I was sent. It was probably, I don't know, last Monday or Tuesday or Wednesday. I don't know. Things get jumbled together. The message I was sent was, as soon as you realize POTUS is going to be in power for the next 4 years, the better your life's going to be. So there are people that plan to forcibly to make sure Donald Trump stays in office. And that is dangerous, because it's not 1 or 2. It's not 5 or 6. It's not 70 or 80. How many it is, we'll find out January 6th. And again, I hope I'm wrong. I hope I'm wrong. Tommy Larson will never happen. They won't rise up and try to overthrow the government to keep Trump in power. I hope you're right. If that's what you mean, will never happen. I hope you're right. It's hard to really imagine, but how many things have happened in 2020 that were hard to imagine? Star Child, I hope you're right. I hope it's at the very beginning when the feds intervene. I hope that someone in the federal government is not. I mean, Trump's not going to order the troops to surround the Capitol building if he knows his supporters are coming there to force something to happen, to hold them hostage until they agree to vote him in. Is that out of question? A standoff, somebody's going to have to order somebody in as far as feds, and Trump's not going to be the one to do it, and Mike Pence isn't going to be the one to do it. So the question becomes, who has the power to order feds in to intervene? And if they have that power, are they going to use it, or are they going to be loyal to Trump? This is serious shit. This isn't just idle speculation by an old doofus. This is stuff that can actually happen, and this is stuff that is talked about on a lot of other sites, not all of which are necessarily public. And how real and how serious it is, we will find out. Time will tell. Is there an overabundance of talk and bravado and confidence? Yes, there is. And it's troubling. And I hope it's just all online, as everything else has been. I hope it continues to be that way. From, what became, I said in the beginning, I hope Grandmaster Jay and Angry Viking in Louisville, it's a championship wrestling scene. They both come out, rah, 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 sell their t-shirts. Everybody goes home happy, healthy. And that's what happened. It could have went south very quickly in a number of ways, at a number of places, and a number of times. It didn't. And in my opinion, both Grandmaster Jay and Angry Viking need credit for making sure that didn't happen. Nothing will happen. All those angry militia guys just talk. I hope you're right, Kelvin Black. I really do. I hope you're right. And I hope it is. I hope it is just a bunch of talk. That's true too, free man. Everyone is not in a militia, and that's another point. I'm not in a militia, but I have self-defense mechanisms, so to speak. And not everybody's, if something does happen, if it does break out, and if I can't see Antifa standing up to the Patriots if there's no federal involvement. I can see very easily, a handful of Capitol Hill police aren't going to hold off 3,000, let alone 30,000 armed patriots who aren't all in a militia, who aren't all Proud Boys, some of whom just want to make sure that Donald Trump stays president. Yeah. And Quifa will be squashed. There you go. Unless they have somehow planned things that nobody's aware of. From what I've seen, Antifa would not stand up to patriots if there's actually live firing. If it's just yelling at each other, yeah, we'll see that. But an umbrella is not going to stop a projectile fired from any firearm, 22 caliber on up. Depending on distance, it may protect you from a BB, but you don't want to be pulling an umbrella out in a gunfight. And I'm concerned that happens and a bunch of kids get massacred. And no, none of that should happen. And we talk about all this like it's abstract, when in fact I think it's going to happen. It's not, boy, I mean, I really think the 6th of January, one of two things begins: either the defense of our Constitution and our way of life, or the beginning of a Trump dictatorship, where when he's gone, it's one of the sons, and the son it'll be Don Jr., and then it'll be Barron, and then it'll be the kids of the, and we fought what was actually a revolution in order to get out from under that, to have a little bit of self-determination. And we had that self-determination. And by a count of 7 million votes, the people said, we don't want 4 more years. The majority of the people, by 7 million votes. Now, there is a significant number that reject that. What did they say for 4 years? Live with it. Hey, you don't like it, leave. Now that the shoe's on the other foot, they're talking about armed revolution, and they're talking serious about it. They're making threats, death threats to politicians. If you don't lie about the number of votes, we're going to kill you. That's serious. I hope it's just all talk. But the problem is there's so much talk that some of it has to be real. It's just what the percentage, what's the percentage of real talk, and who's the percentage of real people? Who's actually going to get off of the keyboard and take arms in Washington, D.C. on the 6th to defend Donald Trump? Some of you watching are, and it's I'm not sure. I don't think it's your right. I don't think it's legal to carry in Washington, D.C. But all depends on your look. If it's, if your right is by the Constitution, Second Amendment, and whatever a state says doesn't apply to you, that's the attitude you're going to have to weaponize yourself in Washington, D.C. And I'd think through it a lot as an individual, because you're looking at a long time in prison if it doesn't go well, and you are armed on federal property. Not only federal property, but the Capitol building in the United States. And I imagine that's not going to be the only place that's going to be surrounded. I imagine the White House will be surrounded. Again, it all depends how many actually show up. I hope none do. I hope everybody stands down and goes, you know what? After thinking all this through, I don't really want this country to have another 200 years of Trumps. No. Do you really want that? Because it's not just 4 more years that you're going to be fighting for. You're going to be giving this person power you can't imagine. And it's wrong. Power corrupts. Absolute power corrupts absolutely. Just something to think about. Not legal to carry in DC. It is legal to conceal if you got a permit. Going to be a lot of feet on the ground. Trust. Yeah. Knuckles came out and said, he's not part of any group, but he's going to be there because of his beliefs. And, I think Knuckles has got a good heart, man. Knuckles is, coming on, talking with me, even though he doesn't agree with a lot of the things I say, to try to open up dialogues and wanting to talk with other people. And I don't consider, he would be a violent person. I think violence would be an absolute last resort on his part. But he would be going armed in order to be able to protect himself in case things go crazy. And all it takes is just a couple of people for things to start and go crazy. All it takes is one round at the wrong place at the wrong time in the wrong direction, and things can pop off. I just don't see it being that way. I see it either being the Capitol building on the 6th of January will be surrounded by United States military so that the government can conduct its business, or it will be surrounded by patriots so the government cannot conduct its business. Just something to think about. The Proud Boys can carry because they're clicked in with law enforcement. They'll get a pass. I thought that at one time too, T-Rex, but I don't know. I don't know if that's going to be the case after seeing the Proud Boys in Washington. They sort of got a pass. Yeah, they did. They got a pass because if that had been BLM, and BLM is separate from Antifa. Okay. Again, they're going to get lumped together. They have been, and they, it's history, and it's going to start happening. And we've only got a couple of days until all this happens. It's going to be Antifa, BLM, anybody, person of color is BLM. They're targets within a week of shit going down. That's how quickly it becomes everybody's problem, in my opinion. There's going to be so many Trumpers impersonating law enforcement in DC on the 6th. I wouldn't be surprised at that at all. There will be current law enforcement there on the 6th, possibly impersonating federal law enforcement or some other form of law enforcement, let alone civilians impersonating law enforcement. I wouldn't be surprised at that at all. Justice of the Supreme Court does the swearing in. I really like the fact that you guys comment, and I appreciate it, and I enjoy interacting with you. And I like that you talk amongst yourselves because, in my opinion, communication is essential. T-Rex, I'm predicting no one shows up. Man, I hope you're right, dude. I hope you're right. Oh my gosh, I hope you're right. I hope it's just a big political theater. Politicians are known for that. They have what they call the count. They know what the vote's going to be. That's the function of the party whips. There's a member of the House in both Democrat and Republican that are known as the party whips. Their main mission is to know ahead of time how each vote is going to go before it's actually displayed to the public. This could just be all political theater, it should be, because they have the votes. They know that there aren't enough votes in either house to do anything other than slow it down and to aggravate and agitate any people on the outside that are trying to obstruct the process. So that's what it's going to be on the inside, political theater. Hopefully on the outside, it'll be social media no-show, which is, people talk big on social media. When it comes time to actually show up, they don't always show up, or whatever. So that's my hope too. Nobody shows up. Everybody stands down. Everybody thinks better of fighting to keep Donald Trump as president. If you were fighting to keep Abraham Lincoln or John F. Kennedy or George Washington or one of the great presidents, but man, just look at the list of people he has pardoned in the last month. Just look at that list. Don't blindly follow somebody that's gonna lead you into a situation where the rest of the world decides to vote us off the island. Yes, Pence is president of the Senate, and there are steps that he could potentially take if so voted. But this is that part's all political theater. Okay, it's all just to get you guys agitated. It's all just to rile up the supporters to think even more so that it's being stolen. It's being stolen when the whole damn process has been followed and been ruled on in court every step of the way. Now, after all that time, we've gotten to this point and you still think it's been stolen. And now and then Trump's saying that there haven't been 2 million people die of coronavirus, that it's all a fraud. Come on, man. You got to see how dangerous this guy truly is. Is Joe Biden the answer to everything? Hell to the no. No. He was not my 12th or 13th choice to be president of the United States, let alone my first. Okay? But that's what the vote determined. That's what the process gave us. That's what we work with for the next 4 years or until he's unfit and steps down and Kamala Harris becomes the first female president of the United States and the first female of color to be president of the United States. And that could really be a key and what everybody's really fighting for to keep that from happening. Just something to think about. All right, I'm going to end on that. And if I can do this, I'm going to flip the camera around, turn off the light, flip the camera around so that we can watch this video of what happened in Salem, Oregon, and then come back and close. All right, now let's see if I can. Apologies, we're doing this live. I'm going to go with that for the moment.
Fucking bad ain't shit, dude. Yeah.
I'm scared.
Bad little bitch, man. You gotta say, man. You got nothing to say. You ain't got shit, dude.
I don't know how to speak English. I'm not from America.
Fuck, man. You ain't shit, dude. You got nothing to say? Fuck Antifa! 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 That little motherfucker. What's up, man? You got something to say? Once again, you're standing on the sidelines like a punk. Fuck that team. Fuck you.
Don't fucking touch her! Don't fucking touch her! Don't fucking touch her! We are protecting his business! They are coming over here! No, you fucking don't!
Well, just get them all, yeah. Hey, you guys need to leave. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Come on, team. Come on, team. Yes. Put this way. Let's go. Put the rest up. Let this business and these people be due to time, place, and manner. We're not going to allow this.
So they get to stay when we gotta leave?
I am telling you, that is the case, yes. That's great. I guess you guys are going to have to move it. Call me cops. That's crazy. Fuck Antifa! Fuck Antifa! Fuck Antifa! Fuck you! Can I get my picture taken too? Can I be famous? Thank you. So what's going to be on your story later? I'm curious. What's going to be on your guys' story? Am I a racist too? What's going to be the live cutting edge? Fuck Antifa! Fuck Antifa! Fuck Antifa! Fuck you! Fuck Antifa! Fuck Antifa! There's gonna come a time where you have to stand up for the people! Help the people! Free the people! Holy crap! There's no God damn! So for those of you that are watching, the conservatives had a planned march. They marched from the state capitol. Fuck those motherfuckers, man! That's fucking bullshit, dude! I was even backing the fuck up and that little bitch shot me. Yo, fucking bitch. Hey, what's your name, Bubba? What's your name? Oh, fucking prick. Yeah, you're gonna brandish your fucking firearm, huh? What is this right now? What are you guys doing? This is our march. Day of Constitution. These people are here brandishing guns on us.
What? What is going on?
This makes no sense whatsoever.
What the fuck is going on right now? What is going on? Remove this man from here now! Remove him now, both of them! They cannot fucking stand here! Why are you holding one side hostage?
They hate us.
Are you serious right now?
If it wasn't for you guys right now, these dudes are getting their shit smashed in. You've lost yourselves. You've lost yourselves. You have all lost yourselves. It's over. It's no more. No more. No more support for you guys at all. Zero support.
That is insane. You guys letting our man come over to our side to antagonize us, and you stand behind him? What the fuck is going on here?
Seriously.
Honestly,
You ain't nothing but a goon for King.
this is fucking nuts.
Little goons. Fuck the police! Fuck you! This is it. Fuck you!
Police send for what's right to have them That's right. You know what's wrong.
This is the Salem Police Department. This has been declared an unlawful assembly. You're all commanded to disperse from this location immediately. If you do not disperse immediately, you will be subject to arrest. If you do not disperse immediately,
I don't know where to go. I'm going.
this is the Salem Police
What do you expect?
You're all commanded to disperse from this location immediately. If you do not disperse immediately, you'll be subject to arrest. Fail to disperse and comply with the orders may result in force against you.
Orange. I'm fine.
Fuck you! This is the Salem Police Department. This has been declared an unlawful assembly. If you do not disperse immediately, you will be subject to arrest. Failing to disperse or comply with these orders may result in force used against you, to include impact munitions and up to tear gas. Back in the blue. Unlawful assembly pursuant to orders 666.
Fuck the blue.
You guys. Come on, what's some American spirit? Who got the better life than this?
Disperse or comply with these orders may result in force used against you, to include impact munitions and up to tear gas.
Take the sign. Big war on yours. They're fucking lunch in the war, like you, that's the very people that fucking want to take your fucking blood. I'll do it again. Make it fucking hard. What are you gonna do?
Oh. Well. The problems with working live and working by yourself. My monitor laptop just overheated. The speakers just fell off. It almost fell onto the floor. We caught it, and we're back. So I think we had enough of that to get an idea of what went on in Salem, Oregon yesterday. It could be a situation on January the 6th. Now, hopefully there are some patriots out there that have seen this and realize, hey, the blue is not necessarily going to be on our side. The Army's not necessarily going to be on our side. Maybe we ought to rethink all of this. And T-Rex will be right. And nobody shows up. That's my hope. I'm going to end it with that. Thank you all for watching. Thank you all for being here. Those of you that have been watching live, you know how much I appreciate you. And those of you in the comments, Carpe Diem, Jay Bruce, Philly Strong, Star London, Wilbur Powell, T-Rex, Bad Boy Aries, Jay Bruce again, 308 Guy, Michelle S., Star Child, blessings to all of you, peace to all of you, prosperity to all of you. May I be a doofus and absolutely nothing happen on January 6th other than the continuation of the peaceful transfer of power and the way of American democracy. That's my hope. I pray for God to have mercy on this country, and may He bless each and every one of you. Or if you prefer the she and you have a goddess, hey, we're in times where any positivity is going to be a good thing. Once again, our first, I think, let me get the whole thing in here. Our first prototype shirt, it is End All Racism, the EAR shirt, and it's our first prototype. I'll have one on tomorrow night, one on Tuesday night as well for the broadcasts, and we're just getting things set up. So if you're interested in EAR, we're going to be doing more about that coming later on in this month. But we do want to make sure that it is in everybody's mind. White people need to learn how to find peace and reconciliation. Whew. Man, that's some powerful words and such truth. Amen to that. I'm going to close on that. Thank you, Jay Bryce, for that. I love y'all. I will see you again very soon with another edition of the American Doofus Show. Don't be a doofus. I'm your host, Barry Welsh. I love you. Peace. Good night.